What's happening, folks? Hope everyone's having a great day so far, or great night, depending when you're watching this. Today, we are looking at a book that I have highly anticipated this year, American Vampire, Omnibus Volume 1. This is the Vertigo series that Scott Snyder, Raphael Albuquerque worked on. Um, Stephen King did as well, little bits and pieces here and there. As you can see, they got the DC Vertigo label there. So the dust jacket itself, if you guys have Animal Man, iZombie, I think Grayson is like this too. It's a matte with a little glossy on certain parts of it, mostly the text. Let's look at the spine here. Awesome. So this was the first thing I ever read by Scott Snyder, and I loved it. It's a great idea. There's a little description for you guys. Let's look at what it includes. Issues 1 through 27, Survival of the Fittest and Lord of Nightmares. And that's what I'm looking for. Prices 100 US, 131 Canadian. Let's, you know what, I'm going to take the dust jacket off. We'll dive in here. Actually, before I do that, let's quickly take a look here. Awesome. Scanner sweet. And then on the back, you just got some creator details. But yeah, let's get the dust jacket off and take a look at what's underneath. Tremendous print cover on this book. Got Pearl there. Get the spine. Same thing, matte spine with a little gloss on the text. And on the back, we got good old Skinner Sweet. So, I guess we'll get into the table of contents when I'm flipping through. I'll sort of talk about the series because I love this series. It is awesome. Really good series by Mr. Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque. A few guest artists in there as well. Table of contents. And some bonus content. So you're looking at about a 1,000-page book here, which is great. A lot of amazing content. So if you've never read the series before, sorry about that, guys. Had to go do something real quick. Anyway, I'm back, and as I was saying, the series essentially revolves around a female character named Pearl Jones, and a male character named Skinner Sweet. There are, of course, other characters that come into play here. That I don't know if I necessarily even want to give away right now because, it's just such a great story, and I feel like it really should be. I don't know. I would just prefer you guys read it. But what I can tell you is essentially the plot is European vampires came to America, and Americans started becoming vampires, and they evolved. They evolved to a point where. And again, this is a relatively older story, so I apologize if I'm spoiling the plot for anyone. They evolved, and they're able to stay out in the sunlight. They don't have to feed to stay alive. And yeah, a few other things here and there, transformations, etc. But it's a very emotional story, with a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of joy. It is a mature book. There are some sexual scenes in here, but overall, man, this is such a good series. Oh, it's so good. Raphael Albuquerque on artwork, who is just phenomenal. He's able to channel such energy in his artwork that perfectly suits the story. It perfectly suits the tone of the series. Very impressive. I was, the first time I read this, I couldn't do anything but binge it. It's truly, if I have to ever recommend a Vertigo series, this is one of my favorites. If you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of deep character plots, this is the book for you. So as you guys saw, I'm sure Stephen King is credited on this book. He wrote some backup stories. We got some Sean Murphy artwork for you. He wrote a bunch of backup stories while the series was starting, sort of giving you an origin on Skinner. Skinner Suite and the European vampires and what happened there. Really, really phenomenal stuff. Man, I love this series so much. I can't recommend this highly enough, guys. I will say, Volume 2, I'm sure, will be focused on Second Cycle, which I personally have not read. I'm very much looking forward to it. Let's take a quick peek at the binding here. Let's get this over to the middle. Not bad. I mean, it's a DC Omnibus. I'm sure you guys that own some know what to expect at this point. Really high quality paper. And really, really, really good build on the Omnibus. Feels intensely solid. But let's look at some of the bonus content here. Got some afterwards. Stephen King, Scott Snyder. Got some variant covers here, some Bernie Wrightson. J.H. Williams, Paul Pope. Zoom out a bit for you guys here. Got some scripts, which is still some of my favorite stuff to look through, just to see how different writers do what they do, how much artistic freedom they give their artists and whatnot. Got some original sketches here. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Page development, design work, logos. You got cover designs here. Really, really great stuff. Guys, I'm such a huge fan of this series. I'm gonna have to cut this video off so I can reread this thing. Well, not this thing specifically, the series in general. But yeah, guys, cannot recommend this highly enough. Pick this up if you're on the fence about it. If you like vampires, if you like horror, if you just like a really good story with great, meaningful violence, which is saying something, great character development, great plot, and tremendous artwork. This is, clearly, obviously it's a series for you. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm so excited to dig into this thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you pick this up, if it's your first time reading it, I'd love to know what you thought about it. Always love seeing people's reactions. Thank you guys so much. This was Mike from the Hardcover Comic. Until next time, you stay classy, Internet.